Neptune in Aries energy is among us, upon us, I mean. So today, the planet of Neptune is moving into the sign of Aquarius, or not Aquarius, into the sign of Aries. Neptune is moving into Aries. Neptune has been in the sign of Pisces for the past 14 years, since 2011. And it will remain in Aries actually until October of this year. It'll remain in Aries. Then it goes into Pisces from October until January 2026. And then from January 2026 onward, Neptune will be in Aries until 2039. Okay, so Neptune is moving into Aries right now, and it will remain in Aries until October of this year, where it'll briefly go back into Pisces for 3 months and then finally make the shift fully into Aries for the next 14 years. Why is this important? Well, for one, because it really does influence the overall energy globally speaking, and can impact people in subtle ways if they're not aware of the energy. So the last time that Neptune was in Aries was around 1861, and that was a period of time around when the Civil War took place. So like there can be kind of massive uprisings around this time, or like in the next 3 to 5 years, we may start to see a shift in that people are standing up, advocating. I mean, obviously Aries is a very confident, straightforward, bold energy. So we may see that taking place a lot more, in that people may be more action oriented than anything else. So it's important to note, because you may notice a shift in your own energy and a shift just in the energy, just in general on the planet, if that makes sense, if you're sensitive enough to be able to feel into energies. But it's gonna be much more, I mean, it could go a lot of ways, because depending on how the energy mixes with whoever I'm talking about, it could be positive or negative, you know? So Neptune in Aries can also make people kind of delusional, in a sense, in that kind of having like a overinflated sense of self. It could make egos flare a bit more, which, again, like I said, in some ways can be helpful and is necessary when talking about like things like leadership or taking charge or whatever. Sometimes you do have to kind of just say what's the best strategy, and kind of like, fuck it, just do it, you know, even if it's outside of the realm of what you deem might be possible or even reality. So that's what I'm talking about as far as it potentially making people a little bit delusional. So if this energy may shift certain people who already have inflated egos into a more, even more inflated sense of self, which could be, I don't want to say dangerous, but it just may increase tensions amongst communities, populations, countries. So it could be volatile depending on who we're talking about. But it also can be a really good thing too. Because, I mean, if you look at a lot of leaders, they tend to have higher levels of narcissistic traits or qualities. So it's like, not to say that being a narcissist is a good thing, but being a doormat definitely isn't. And most leaders, in order to get into their position, have to take a stand and put themselves in uncomfortable positions to do so. And so in order to do that, you have to have a high sense of self-confidence and courage, even if it's not real, if that makes sense. You know, even if it's like, you've got to believe in yourself. And that's what you'll find with a lot of these people who are leaders or in higher up positions or making a lot of money, is that probably one of the things they have in common is they have a high sense of self-worth, confidence, or belief in themselves. So we can really utilize the energy to our own benefit. I feel like it can also make people anxious. If you are in like a stagnant energy in your life, it may, you know, kind of like create a sense of burning passion that you have to, I don't want to say you have to follow, but it's like, I can feel it within myself. And it's like, it's this energy of like, I just want to keep going and moving and doing more, you know, and like, but also if you've been traumatized, you have to be careful with the energy too, because it can kind of almost have the opposite effect. Like it can be overwhelming, you know, and then you're kind of like, I don't know what to do with it. So this isn't meant to be an in-depth video on this. I'm more than likely going to delete this after. I really just wanted to go live and talk, period. Oh shit, I got all this stuff in my coffee. But yeah, because I already talked about this yesterday. If you go check out my new moon in Aries video, I address Neptune moving into Aries today. But yeah, mark my words, we're going to see a lot of big shifts and changes on a global level, on a societal level. Probably within your own life as well. Dynamics, relationship dynamics, dynamics within any type of connection you have might be shifting, breaking out of codependency, codependent tendencies. But yeah, I was listening to this astrologer and she was talking about how this Neptune and Aries energy can be kind of not dangerous. That's the word I'm using because it seems dangerous, sounds dangerous to me, because she's talking about like people becoming so like overly confident, you know, that they get in sort of a delusional state of mind as far as what is possible, you know, or how people perceive them, how they perceive themselves. So yeah, but I think that just depends on the person too. Because I think, like, say you're a very humble person and that energy, you get a hold of that energy. It's like taking the wrong pill, for example. Like, I'm thinking about, like, people with anxiety and Xanax. If you take Xanax and you don't have anxiety, or Adderall or something, and you don't have ADHD, what does it do? It has the wrong effect. So if you take Xanax and you don't have anxiety, it makes you high because you don't have anxiety, and so you don't need that. People who have anxiety, it makes them feel normal. Same with Adderall with ADHD. It's like people who take Adderall that don't have ADHD, they get really energized and shit like that. And people who take it who have ADHD, they're able to focus, they feel more normal. Or, I mean, well, I wouldn't necessarily say that because those medications are really strong. But my point in saying this is, it's the same thing with this energy with the Neptune moving into Aries, or with Neptune moving into Aries, where it's like, depending on who the energy comes across. So if it comes across somebody who is more humble in spirit, then the energy is probably really just going to help balance that person out. But, you know, if it's people who already have huge egos, that could cause a lot of tension. So all right, I'll be back. I'm gonna do a reading in a minute, but I have to